You know, cancer is something that most people think could never happen to them, or those they hold dear. But then it does happen. From then on, it's like living in a lucid dream. None of it feels real. None of it will ever feel real. Having cancer or being close to somebody with it is now a big part of who you are. It's a fight you'll never forget. From then on, life can never be the same. The memories of the battle are vivid, even more so if the battle was lost. This atrocious disease is one where some of the body's cells begin to grow uncontrollably. It can start almost anywhere in the human body, and can also spread to other parts of the body. Our bodies have trillions of cells in them. When a cell becomes too old or becomes damaged, our bodies replace it with a new cell. Sometimes this process gets broken. Damaged or irregular cells can suddenly begin to grow and multiply, something that isn't supposed to happen. These cells can form tumors. The cancerous tumors can invade surrounding tissue and even travel to more distant areas. Cancer is a genetic disease. It occurs when there's a change in the genes that govern our cell function. It can happen out of pure chaotic randomness. It can be caused by harmful chemical substances, like tobacco smoke, or from the UV rays from the sun. It can also be inherited from our parents. Cancer can run in families. It's important to keep away from dangerous chemicals. Wear sunscreen when the sunlight is harsh. If it runs in your family, have checkups with a doctor. There is no singular cure, no almighty drug, treatment, or surgery that makes all forms of it disappear. It's a very complicated disease. There are over 100 types of it. While there's no cure-all, there are many types of treatments that can ward it off. These include surgeries, several types of therapies such as chemotherapy, bone marrow or stem cell transplants, and many more. These procedures can be risky. Many people lose their lives to cancer. Some end up cancer-free after harsh endeavors. Sometimes, despite being declared cancer-free, a person might end up with it somewhere else in their body that came from where it started. You can get it again, or have it go by undetected. The disease ends lives, puts lives on hold, causes a great amount of grief on the people who have it or witness it. It doesn't matter who you are, how healthy you are, or how good of a person you are. The cold truth is that cancer can happen to anybody. It's something that should be wished on not a single soul. Welcome to Games for Healing, the series where we look at video games that deal with themes of life struggles, life lessons, and mental health, as well as games for relaxation. I believe that video games are art just as capable of demonstrating the human condition as any other medium. They can be simple, well-crafted fun, powerful forms of expression, and when the stars align just right, they can be both of these things. Today I'd like to share with you a game about a real family with a true story. It's a game about a pure and innocent child named Joel Green. He was faced with a 4-year-long battle with terminal cancer. He was diagnosed at 12 months old, and it was said that he only had a short amount of time left to live. Despite this declaration, he kept going and lived another 4 years before passing away in March 2014. The game was created by a small team under the name Numinous Games, with the parents of this child at the forefront writing this autobiography. Their names are Ryan and Amy. The game was co-developed with a friend of theirs named Josh Larson. It released in 2016.
Fear is cancer's preservative, cancer's embalming oil. And you, O accuser, are fear's oil salesman. You're a snake, a serpent, a dragon with snuffed out coal on his breath, molting, talons broken from the struggle to free yourself of your own skin.
This experience is called That Dragon, Cancer. Little Joel is a brave knight, and Cancer is the name of the beast. The game got its name from a story that the Greens told their other sons about their brother's illness. It's a narrative-focused point-and-click style adventure game with some other types of gameplay sprinkled in. The creators thought that the interactivity of a video game could have the player relate to the emotions in a way that a film could not. Rather than telling a full cohesive story, the Greens chose to show separate high and low moments from their time raising Joel. It all feels very real and human. We see multiple different chapters featuring different vignettes and set pieces. Each moment of Joel's life is shown in an art style that's meant to be abstract. The characters and set pieces are simple, and the people have no visible expressions. The faces are left to the imagination to interpret and understand. Despite having no facial expressions, there's a lot of heart. These moments are all fully voice acted by the family and the people aiding in the project. It even includes voicemails that were recorded during Joel's time, and recorded audio of him and his pure infectious laughter. There's a scene in the game where Joel cries, but his father couldn't bear to include his son's crying in the game. The crying was the recording of someone else, but the laughter is all Joel's. Along the way, we also get to see cards, letters, and other sentimental things from people who have dealt with cancer, sent to the Greens to share their stories and support them during the fight. While playing, you'll hear a lot of emotionally swaying music. Every note carries a lot of weight during the scenes that are presented. Some of the moments this presents can range from happy times, like Joel feeding ducks or having fun at a playground, or dire moments such as the family receiving the news that it's time for end-of-life care. I think that this is a game that anybody can play. You can look around, point and click to walk, and interact with a multitude of things. There are some sections where you'll be trying out other types of gameplay, like during the story of Joel the Brave Knight and the dragon named Cancer. This segment takes the form of a classic style side-scroller, where you can jump and throw spears at enemies. The story is being told to the Greens' other children while you play it out. Then there's another segment where you're racing around the hospital in a wagon, taking the form of a short racing game. The items you pick up during these 3 laps are things like juice boxes and blood transfusions. Moments like this are fantastical recreations of real moments. The stories being told are either shown as real situations or depicted as imaginative retellings. The reconstructions of some of these moments and feelings are clever and heartbreaking. There's a nightmare sequence where Joel is holding onto hospital glove balloons. You're tasked with guiding him past what appears to be cancer cells that will make the balloons pop. These obstacles become unavoidable and Joel's father wakes up. I think the intent with this section is to transfer the feelings of responsibility and fear onto the player. It symbolizes how it must feel to raise a child in this situation. The grim imagery of cancer cells are used several times in this game, sometimes surrounding areas in a claustrophobic sense. Sometimes we see trees that I think are meant to represent them. They have this constant presence, always lurking in the background. We get to hear the thoughts of Joel's parents many times. Most of the narration and voice acting is by them. Actually, I wouldn't even call it voice acting, because it's not acting. This is an autobiographical story. The shakes and quivers that you hear in their voices are as genuine as can be. It's all authentic, like the player is there with them. The gameplay and visuals may be simple, but that interactivity adds a lot. If any of the people who worked on this game happen to be watching this video, thank you for making it. Your love for Joel really shines through. Making this game must have taken a lot of bravery and mental fortitude. You've crafted something exceptional and real. Everything about that dragon cancer feels raw and unapologetically human. This game is something special. It's an intimate insight to a real family's love for a child and the strife that comes with a horrible disease. It makes us feel the love and grief that the Greens have felt for Joel. The player is given some weight to bear. The Greens are a Christian family, and the themes and values of Christianity are a big part of their lives and this story. Regardless of what your beliefs in life are, whether you believe in any of the religions, if you're an atheist, if you're agnostic, I believe that humanity is universal, emotions are universal, love is universal. Anybody of any background can play this game and get something out of it because of that. Despite being so tragic, the game does end on a high note. If you plan on playing this and you want to see the ending yourself, you can skip ahead to this time. The final chapter is called Picnic at the Edge of the World. We get to have a picnic with Joel, his pet dog he always wanted, and his infinite supply of pancakes, his favorite food. We make him laugh by blowing bubbles. It's daylight in this forest. The sunlight is warm and gentle. Yet above us we see a beautiful sea of stars. You already know what this place is meant to be. It's an amazing thing to show us before the credits begin to roll. That dragon cancer is available on PC, mobile devices, and the discontinued Ouya console. It has received high critical acclaim and multiple awards. Along with the game, there exists an hour and 20-minute long documentary about the creation of it. It's called Thanks for Playing. I very much wanted to check it out. It's a very touching watch, and I'd recommend it to anyone who plays this experience. If you are to play this game, be sure you know what you're getting into. The title alone should be a clear indicator. You ought to be mentally prepared. Video games have made me cry before, but no game has made me cry like this one. I had to stop and take a break at one point. It was difficult. I have some experience with the dragon named Cancer myself. It took my father away when I was 18. If you or anybody you know is battling cancer, or has passed away due to it, just know that you're not alone. There are countless people in the same boat as you fighting the same fight. You're all strong and brave knights, much like Joel. If you have cancer, give this battle every ounce of your very being. Do not give up. Don't let it break you. You're beyond strong for shouldering this disease. If you are close to anyone who has cancer, support them as much as you can. Spend time with them as much as you can. Life is short and precious. Cherish your loved ones, because tomorrow they could be gone. But I don't think we should call it a goodbye. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later. Stay strong out there.